they win this one, move into the semifinals of the Renegades Invitational $10,000 prize pool. And we have FaZe Clan start things off, picking up a notch and going aggressively towards the short A to attempt for picks at the A site.
Corey will be the one to lead the charge, but taken down immediately after that is Baby Bay in the Jet duel. Back and forth it goes as Mars picks off Mitch, Vice, Pens, and Shinobi all chime in as well. Raucus is like, later, I'm going over to this site, but there's tripwires, there's nanoswarms, there's a turret. There's so much utility because they've gone with that double setup of Cypher and Killjoy. Now they don't have to worry about the nanoswarm as Killjoy is currently watching from the sidelines. The spike will be planted as a result. Reload comes through, knife comes out at the worst possible times. There's Tens with the punish. That's 3 on the round for the Jet. Again, if we can pull up the scoreboard, we'll take a look actually right now at that agent composition that we were talking about. Because we mentioned, would we see the Jet in play? And yeah, the fact is we will on both sides. So you have Relics actually going away from the Raze, playing on the Phoenix, Vice to the Cypher, Mitch stays on Killjoy, Shinobi stays on Omen, Marv stays on Omen, Corey stays on Phoenix, Raucus stays on Sova, Zachary switches off of Killjoy. That's the only change. So looking at FaZe, we said they'd be a little bit more static with their roles, and they are. The other side switches things up just a little bit.
Yeah, and what they switched out was not having the Sova, actually, and not having the Sova allows them to go for a double Sentinel so they can have a lot of utilities, and I think this could be a very smart play for Cloud9 on top of that, because they know what side they're going to start off with. This is not a ranked game, so you know you're starting on defense, you're going to take as many abilities on your end, and look at where the abilities are. They're all over the B side. Turret, trapwires, alarm bot, mollies. They have everything stacked up towards the B side for Cloud9 so that it can really focus on hookah control, hookah ramp for aggressive pushes, and a stack towards the A side. Will this be the continuation once we see gun rounds? Possibly, but Cloud9 definitely taking the defensive side seriously on this map.
Tens, a little bit slow on the response there. The reaction, not exactly what we anticipate. Relics and Corey get into a strange fight that sees Relics getting the kill. Posthumously, it's with the hot hand. Shinobi right around the corner. Here's the gunfire. Will the cam spot him? That's the question. Shinobi has actually gotten in this corner. Opens fire. Dink shot to come down. It wasn't a fatal blow, though. There's Mitch with the support. And again, we've got 2 that remain here for FaZe Clan. Numbers advantage for Cloud9. There's 1 on default spot. That's the Omen, who has managed to sneak his way into U-Haul as well. This is a dangerous position right now, and they've got a crossfire setup potential. Paranoia just barely misses Raucus. And it'll be Marv here now in the 1v3.
Difficult position, 60 seconds left. He's being pinned from all angles. Triple box, short A cubby, 2 at the short A on top of that, and he will not be able to actually get anything more done. And that's it. FaZe Clan went for a force buy on that second round just due to the fact that they had a spike down, so allowing to get 300 more credits into the bank. You know that it's going to be, hey, if Cloud9 are going to upgrade, because you haven't had that many kills with the exception of Tens maybe on that pistol, they're still going to be on a lower upgrade, so you want to try to even up the situation. Marshall versus Marshall, Spectre versus Stingers, but it's just the positioning at that point of when they wanted to push aggressively for FaZe Clan, they didn't check their 50s, and suddenly they all dropped 1 by 1 for an A split. So that was unfortunate to start things off for FaZe Clan on that force buy. It's going to put them in a pistol, but at the same time, they didn't do that much damage versus Cloud9 either, so they don't have to upgrade as much, but then on a pinch, it's a trade back and forth, but still the defenders of Cloud9 taking the upper hand.
And the alarm bot as well going to give away the position of Raucus, so that's going to cause him to fall back and join up with the remainder of the team. It's only 1 other individual. That'll be the Cypher. As they again grab the spike and try to figure out a plan. Now Tens has gotten very aggressive, pushing all the way through showers and cutting off the rotate out. So Tens has this locked down in the event that they try to fall off. The other 2 can just focus on the B site. You've got Omen, and you've got Phoenix here. It's Shinobi and Relics. Raucus side by side with Zachary as the Cypher. There's the first tripwire to spot out their positions. Now they move into position. There's the dart coming down. The turret gives away spots. There's one still inside Tuna. That's Shinobi, and he better not peek. He just needs to hold his ground. They're going to try and fall back on this potentially. You see Raucus is considering it, but with the time being what it is, they have no choice but to dedicate themselves to the push. They've still got to worry about that Jet on the lurk. It's Tens who's on the back end of the play. 12 seconds
10
now.
seconds
They're looking
left.
for an opening.
One
Now they
enemy
dive
remaining.
out into the site. Relics right around the corner. It's an easy 2K for Relics to close out the round. So some opportunity as some space was given by Corey's Sheriff work, but they're not able to capitalize due to the fact that they just didn't have the equipment for it.
That's right. Some great picks from Core to start things off inside Hookah. And at that point, when it's a 3 versus 2, and you already have a big flank from Tens in the back of Market, a trapwire was there, but they never wanted to push in, and nobody wanted to push in from the B side either. They're like, hey, we already have pretty much the Bermuda Triangle looking towards Hookah, and they're pinned there. So it's going to be a shipwreck no matter what if they're trying to jump out the window. The crossfire is already set up. If they try to flank from behind, they probably think that it's clear because they have a trapwire. But Tens, he's being sprayed down to 36 to start things off here on an aggressive shower push, but thankfully he stays alive. FaZe, now that they have the weaponry and the guns and they put one low, they're really going to attempt to go for the split. But an early rotation right now for the defenders through the teleporter, and it's still going to be a trade-off towards the A side block.
They go for it. Baby Bay looking for a gap in that smoke. Can't quite find it. A lot of damage coming through, but it's all down to Mitch. Mitch does pick up the kill onto Baby Bay. It's a 1v3. Damage dealt to Cypher. Phoenix also in position on the flank. Sova in the back corner of sight, just holding this line, this exit line from Showers. And Mitch likely can't make a play here. This was really well played from Cloud9 early, going for that pinch, but it was masterfully met by FaZe Clan. I love this. The Nano Swarm to clear out backside. There is one there, but doesn't hard clear it enough. And with the crossfire setup, it likely wouldn't have mattered. Pick one direction, you'll get shot from the other. Nice setup in the end from FaZe Clan. A good way to get themselves on the scoreboard on the attack.
Yeah, I think the audible cue was a little bit too early there for Cloud9. I think after they heard the run it back being pitched up by Corey towards short A, they think, okay, it's going to be an aggressive push towards short because we already have a smoke towards shower. They're really not trying to take control of the shower's area either, so let's just try to go through the teleporter and then get the backstab onto short A. But Baby Bay did a great job there towards the outside, keeping them pretty much pinned on through that rotation inside that teleporter. Even won a fight to start things off on that rotation of the flank. And it was just harder for Cloud9 to try to get that retake into the A side as everybody else fell slowly towards the A site. So unfortunate there for Cloud9. FaZe Clan puts the first point on the scoreboard when the money mattered, and they won it with, what, 2 casualties in that last round. So they have that economy to work with into this one. But you see how slow and cautious they're still playing this round. They even put a camera up instead of short A towards the showers in case they have some sort of another aggressive push from Cloud9 through that first teleporter and through Hookah. But as things quiet down, it's going to be Baby Bay trying to get the entry in.
It's crazy to me. There's a ton of utility dump right now on B.
That's what I'm
with
saying.
Cypher and Killjoy. I'm kind of blown away at the triple setup. Like, yeah, typically that's what you would do is have a 3-player setup on B, but with the utility they're putting in, with the alarm bot, the nano swarm, the turret, the tripwire, the cyber cage, the camera, is that necessary? It feels like it's a little bit unnecessary. Now Relics is going to go through the portal and realize there's not much there, and that initiates at least a little bit of a push. Obviously that's not going to make too much of a difference, as eventually he's going to come back through on the other side. The tripwire gives away his position. Vice catches him as he flies through the air towards Bubby. Zachary did pick off Mitch, so the Killjoy's out. Marv is there with a follow-up on Device as well. A 4-on-3 as they gain late site control, and it's all Marv coming up big here as the Omen. It'll fall down to Tens. A missed shot from Tens, and an avenue of exit not likely. Quick shot coming up from Tens. Zachary thought he could jump clear the corner. Tens just a little too fast. But still, Tens not really in a position you want to be in. Stuck in elbow with the spike planted on the other side of the wall, and the bullets are already pouring through the glass. He just wants to try and get away if possible. Doesn't have the dash to get across.
He lands that one, but immediately traded off by Marv, and I gotta give it to FaZe Clan on how that execution went into B. That was all timing. It actually got, the call was to rush into the hookah, even if a cyber cage was up, as soon as we had Relics throw the run it back in through teleporter. Because they hear the teleporter queue after the run it back, they're like, okay, well, they're looking for information towards the A side, which means that Mitch, he couldn't help out Cypher that was playing inside the site. He couldn't help out Vice inside B just because he had to protect Relix's body when he came back from the run it back at Octagon. So that allowed 3 players to go into the site to play a 3 versus 1 inside B. And even on top of that, Mitch lost his 1 versus 1 on that long B side. So they narrowed down the defense just on pure timing and got that round in for FaZe Clan. But this one, a save round coming through for Cloud9 as they're getting picked by Rockets. Goes for the 90-degree headshot onto Shinobi inside Hookah, and the pinch does not pay off. And Tense is going to be on his lonesome with the Sheriff, but him with the Sheriff could still be dangerous, but not there.
FaZe tying things up at 3 apiece. This will be a major round coming out from Cloud9, whether they can put their foot down and stop the rounds they've been bleeding off from continuing, as the money will be totaling up pretty high. Baby Bay getting away quick, using that cloud burst as well as the dash on the aggressive play that came out from the defensive side, but it didn't really produce much success. As you saw, FaZe Clan still able to win it. The op will not be in play for Tens. It's going to be a rifle this time around. So Baby Bay will remain uncontested. However, again, we've mentioned it, offensive ops just not really swinging as hard as the defensive ops, and even Baby Bay's own stats would indicate that.
Deploying drone.
Using Rockets' drone to try to clear out Hookah. They're going to spot the top of the ponytail here of Tense in the back of the site, and also notice that he doesn't have an operator in hand. But with that information, they're still not deciding to aggress towards his B side. Thinking now that Tense is playing towards B, it's going to be a stack probably on that side, and they want to try to work back towards A. But little do they know here is that they actually do have a lot of information from a camera playing from the Cypher to try to clear out the A side. But it's still trap wires that's really well placed towards the side so that nobody can really push in. But it's going to be in the shadows instead from a teleporter, so the stack is back towards A. No, it's canceled out. So let's see what happens. Can these 2 players from Cloud9 hold it?
Corey moving in fast through the U-Haul. Curveball around the corner. There's one inside the vents. Only 1 kill for Corey, traded out immediately. 3 ults
30 seconds left.
On the 3 players alive. Cloud9, they've got a lot to work with, but it's not working out so well. It's all up to the Cypher. Excuse me, I was speaking of FaZe Clan with the ults. It's all up to the Cypher. That'll be Zachary with the spike in sight. And Shinobi actually clipped him as he starts to moonwalk his way out of the site through the vents. It's the shot that comes through the wall on the fade back that results in a round win for Cloud9. Good stop on the A side push. Again, there's still 3 ults in play for FaZe. You've got Neural Theft, Hunter's Mark, or Hunter's Fury, excuse me, and into the shadows for the Omen on the other side. Got those knives ready and willing to slice apart the attacking side. That's especially scary when it's in the hands of Tens. And Killjoy, Mitch, with the lockdown, ready to prevent access to his site. So Cloud9 has what they need to stop it. One thing we haven't actually seen a whole lot of, when a Killjoy pops the ult, you can kill it, but you can kill it with abilities. You don't have to kill it with gunshots. So Hunter's Fury does take out the ult. And we haven't really seen that happen, I don't think, yet. It is possible. I've seen it happen in play, but I've never seen it happen in pro matches.
That's right. You have that. You have the paint shells. You have the orbital strike.
Brimstone's ult
there as well. But the thing is, they're not in a position where they really need to break it. They could wait off the time, try to rush in with 10 seconds remaining. But a nice trade to start things off on possession of the showers, and it comes on top, Cloud9. So 4 on 3. As the rest of them are going to try to make it back for FaZe Clan inside the B site. Rocket's trying to clear out towards the Octagon to give a chance now for Baby Bay to move forward. So it's going to be the commitment towards the B side, and there you go. The Hunter's Fury comes out, and he's not shooting towards the Killjoy. They're trying to clear out the site, and they're just getting dropped, and unfortunately, they don't even make it past the mark of the barriers at the B side.
The money, almost as bad as ours, Alex. You know, feels bad, man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the money, that's a joke, obviously. You know, Alex is rich. Have you seen all the skins he's bought? It's unbelievable. The man's, he's dripping every gun in the game. He's got 12 options. That's because of your skin habit.
Yes.
You'd be eating, like, duck l'orange and foie gras if it weren't for the fact that you kept spending all your money on these skins, sir.
I love this game. I love Riot. What can I say?
FaZe Clan, though, they're going to be working with suboptimal hardware. It's a couple of pistols. There's a rifle that's brought in for previous play. You can see the shots coming down through the tin can. It's not connecting where it needs to. There's the alarm bot triggering that allows it to move out. And the Vandal will strike. So it's down now to just 3, and the port has already come through from Relics. The Pink and Hookah. At least they found 1 kill. There's 1 that remains, though, and it's an easy kill for Relics to find in the end. So a solid round for Cloud9 to win. 6 on the board. They found themselves in a similar position in the first half with 6 rounds. We'll see if they can find more before things close out and move on to the second half.
I kind of like what I saw there from how Mitch played that Killjoy in the Octagon, because sometimes you see defenders, especially when they're second 3 players towards the B side, and they want to take long B control, they go for 3 players to push aggressively or early to go for a peek. But instead, we had basically a 2 versus 1 from Killjoy with Mitch putting the turret just on the other side of the teleporter, and nobody from FaZe Clan saw that coming. So as the turret saw him, we saw Baby Bay, I think, turn around and try to break the turret, but at the same time, Mitch swings out and gets the kill. So they have to look out for that now for FaZe Clan. And even on top of that, when they don't have that turret there, they have an alarm bot instead. And a camera on top of that too now from FaZe. So they're using their utility very well here. Look at that. They have to focus on the left side. Now Mitch hits another crossfire on the other side again. So he gets 2 headshots into Corey and Baby Bay. And he's going to be a nuisance right now on the defender side for sure.
Zachary as the Cypher. The Sova behind it. It's Raucous. Again, looking at a position you don't want to be in. Frequently, it's those 2 left remaining, given that it's Cypher and Sova. It's no surprise, usually staying towards the back play, not being the ones to be up front. Recon Dart goes through. Is the Shock Dart good enough? Yes, it is. Ditch was so low on HP. It comes around the corner. Not much can be done. Double curveball for Relics. And that'll be a nice follow-up on the Raucous. It was a curveball from Relics, but it was a fastball of a round. Cloud9 hit number 7, and they're playing this really well. Their team play right now is awesome. I love like the 2-player positioning we're seeing. We saw it the round prior in Showers. Now we're seeing it as well in Hookah. The way they're working off each other, resulting at the very least an advantageous trade. Last round, you know, we saw what happened in Hookah, but the round prior, we saw a double kill come in from Vice off the initial peak that took his teammate down in Showers. That's what's been giving them the leg up in a lot of these rounds. And it's brutal for FaZe because they never get to use the utility that they're saving to buy. They're taken out before they can really actually make an execute come together. And here they're going to be back down to pistols yet again. Oh, that's an elbow.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
The elbow's too pointy for Raucous. He gets picked up by Tense on an eco from FaZe Clan trying to move in. If you have a run it back as the Relic Star is trying to come through, he gets the headshot onto Baby Bay and knows that there's action towards you. He gets the second one, that's the spike down. Not enough for that first kill, but he's pinned in there. Marv, nonetheless, at the Showers, gets picked off by Tens, and that's going to be it for that eco. No plans coming through. Last round of the first half coming up. They'll finally have the money here from FaZe Clan, but just to add a little bit more to what you were saying on that last round here, Bach, is the fact that Cloud9, not only that are they doing well with the buddy system, but they needed to have this many rounds on this first half. 9-3 would be ideal for them right now. 8-4 is something normal that we see, but if they could seal the deal with a 9-3, it'll be looking great. And it starts off with 3 operators too, so they're buying. If they miss an op shot, they can pick up the rifles, kind of like a Counter-Strike thing that we see here. And I like it, but at the same time, it's due to the fact that they spend so much on double Sentinel, triple Cypher, and a Killjoy, and no Sova. You need so many rounds as many rounds as possible, on the defender side, and they're definitely getting it.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal. There's the pickoff coming in. The ult gets popped by the Phoenix, but it doesn't really get them what they wanted. Tens is on site doing just Tens things. Throws a knife through the smoke just in case. You never know. Might work out.
It was close.
But they realized, yeah, it was not that far off. They realize this is not going to work, so they're going to be going back the other direction. What they don't realize is Relics is waiting here with an operator as well. Swaps to the rifle. And now he's going to be on the site, ready to challenge them should they attempt to play. There's the ult being popped, the curveball as well. And this is just really well read and played. Zachary somehow gets the best of Relics as the aim just doesn't quite calculate. The recoil gets away from him. But it is that 9-3 half as Cloud9 looks stellar in this first half, crushing FaZe Clan time after time. And now they get to switch over to the attack, which wasn't perfect on the last map. But again, what we saw in the last map, Tens carried in defense, but then on attack, the rest of the team kind of came together. And right now, we've already got Shinobi and Relics performing well, so it's not too much of a stretch to see them continuing this push on the attack.
And I just hope that people in the chat and the community, after watching that last round, are not going to say that the op is still not expensive enough. Because at that point, when you've won 5 rounds in a row before winning the 6th one to make 9-3, but you've won with so many players still alive, everybody's at 9K. You want to bring it into your favor. Triple op setup, and then if you miss a shot, like I said, you bring the rifle out, and they didn't really need to. Every single op that went into their buy actually almost got a kill. 2 out of 3 got killed. But on this pistol, though, it's still going to be the aggressive play for Cloud9 into the A sign, and it's traded off on the 4 versus 4.
Careful now.
Relics backing off after some initial damage was dealt, going for the self-heal with the hot hands. They get control of this short and they push up, but what they don't realize is Marv's around the corner. Marv able to pick up 2 before finally being taken down, but there's a follow-up port coming in from Raucus. Oh, that was a little scary. You got Raucus low on HP and he has to face duel the turret. Drops him down to 10, but Relics is at full HP. So there's that working for him. The spike is down and very easily picked up. There's a Cypher around the corner. Sova elbow, very low. Does Relics hard clear this corner? He's got to clear it close. Takes out the trip, spots the elbow, and actually swaps away. Oh, that's unfortunate. Thought maybe I'll get inside the cage. I like the play. I like the thought process.
Yeah. No, definitely, because that idea at that point. So I first off, I like the fact that he didn't pick any of the weapons before he actually cleared the hookah. Because if he does, then it's going to be heard already from the hookah area, and you already have the advantage from Zachary with the angle that he pulled to be ready for the first shot versus Shinobi. Then Shinobi breaks the trap wire, thinking that Zachary is not there because actually there was a trap wire. And there you go. With that curveball, the intent was that Zachary is probably still holding that corner. You want to throw the curveball through the cyber cage, across into hookah, and then try to win the fight with the ghost after Zachary missed a few shots when Relics is falling back. But thankfully here for FaZe Clan, they kept their cool. They held it super well here with Marv around that corner on the A side, as you mentioned, Bach, and allows them to get this round. But the force buy still comes through here for TenZ with the Bulldog and still gets the opening frag. Oh my god, no.
Yeah. Corey picked off with the ADS Stinger.
Triggered.
That'll give them access to the showers. Raucus is up in heaven.
Take flight.
He'll send out his Al drone,
Enemy tagged.
which will send a dart out short into the belly of TenZ. And it'll continue its path actually into shower. So a double dart Al drone for Raucus.
Revealing
That's
area.
nice intel, but
Found them.
they don't really have much to fight with. They've got Raucus, who's got a Bulldog. Marv able to pick off one. Zachary on site was left alone after the flame wall and the dark cover came through. And now the spike is going to be planted, and it's going to be a 2-on-4. There's decent damage dealt with. Relics a little bit low. He's sitting just above half. Got Vice also low on HP. But it's like kind of one of those tough situations you don't want to be in. If you go for this and you lose, it's 10-4, and then your money's back. If you give him it, it's still 10-4. It's still such a deficit. So this is a difficult one, and it does kind of seem like they're playing for the exits because Sova has not actually made a move, and they threw down dark cover in heaven to allow him to get out, and that's going to be the call. So they're going to go ahead and exit on this one and try and save the weapons for a future round.
And on top of that, you saw that Raucus was actually just spamming with the Bulldog in case somebody was going to push towards pipes. Like, oh, let's go for the hunt. Let's not allow them to save any weapons here. And then, oh, well, Vice dies, it's okay, because I think he only had a Sheriff. But at least from that bait, that allows Marv to get a couple of kills if anybody was going to push through pipes. But Cloud9 kept their calm. They never really wanted to push through either because for them, it was still an expensive buy that they had on their end, right? They had the Bulldog coming through. They had a Spectre. They had a Stinger on top of that as well. And even if they won this round, the money still isn't that great for Cloud9. The advantage now, though, is that so is FaZe Clan. So the advantage at least is that Marv has a Phantom and has something to work with, and everybody else is just going to upgrade the Bulldogs. So instead of just trying to go for more shares for Spectres, we're just going to go full-out ARs with the Bulldog and see if we can continue the upper hand and just run away with the second half, because the economy seems to be, it probably will be broken for FaZe Clan for the next 2 rounds possibly.
Mitch firing away through dark cover. Not able to do much damage. TenZ has now made his way up to Garden. And working around the dark cover that was laid out by the defensive Omen. TenZ is now sitting inside the purple orb, but Relics has actually just run out showers. No fear from Relics. He's got sight control, and TenZ picks off one over on B as well. Now, with the way that Relics is playing this, he can get into U-Haul and go for a flank play. That's exactly what ends up working out. It's reduced to 2. It's Sova and it's Phoenix. And again, Raucus had a gun brought in from the previous round, but Phoenix should be on just a pistol here. At best, an SMG. Maybe a gun pickup, as there are some bodies that have fallen by the wayside. Yeah, Corey has found the Phantom from his teammate.
Correct. When Marv died.
Yeah. But 5 players remain. This is a solid round for Cloud9.
It's huge. And they need to keep these 2 weapons in, because I said the bunny wasn't going to be right, but if they're able to save these 2 weapons, maybe a moment of salvation for FaZe Clan, moving into 11-4 for Cloud9. So that spike is going to go off, and like you said, they just ran into the site. It was uncontested. There was only a camera that was able to get enough information because of the rifles that you have pretty much on the B side. You're trying to keep another player, possibly 2, just to try to see if the stack works, for 1, and if one of them dies, then you are able to still salvage a weapon. So that's exactly what happened for FaZe Clan. The best out of the worst situation that they got on that previous round. Now that the money's right, the rifles will come through. They have the advantage in terms of weapon power into this round, but so far, TenZ with the Vandal, TenZ with the Bulldog, he's still getting those first picks. So overall in this series, you definitely got to give an honorable mention to TenZ on how good he has been playing for this team.
(11-4). Cloud9 steps on the gas pedal and they just do not stop. FaZe in a desperate situation. Because again, they have not had many tournament experiences yet. And in the ones that they have, it was always double elimination. They had that second opportunity. And in some of those cases, they took advantage of it. And on others, that was it. They lose the first game of the playoffs, they lose the second. And I don't want to say, like, they're not playing well, but Cloud9 is just playing fantastically currently. Corey gets a couple of kills on the site, but taken down quickly by TenZ in the end. It'll be a 3-on-3. TenZ gets aggressive with his position, moves all the way up. And as a result, he'll fall. Well, the spike will be planted, and it'll be a 2-on-3. But now it's all on Device. So that aggressive play that came through, not exactly the smartest play. Vice almost makes it work, just can't turn it back in time. And even if he finds that kill on Baby Bay, the Cypher is right behind him, knocking on the door. So realistically speaking, that should have been around for FaZe either way. But 2 players survive, at least they can start building up something. We'll see how the money stabilizes. It's going to be a little bit awkward. They're going to have to gun drop a bit.
And it's not going to be a big gun drop unless somebody goes for a small shield, because I think Raucus was low on the money after that. But I like the fact that Marv just played it quietly. As soon as he won that fight 1 versus 1 for short A, he didn't really want to backpedal right away to the A side, waited for the rotation from his team so that he could be the flanker himself on short A. So everybody else that's focused on catching rotations such as TenZ on Heaven, as he gets picked off, it still gives a chance for Marv to move forward and try to help out the team. So FaZe stays alive, but it's not over yet at this point for them. They have to win this round here, in with a lot of players still alive actually left into this round, so that they could actually continue to build the economy onto the next. Mitch continuing his work toward the Hooper side, so they have sort of a double up, and that recon owl that's going to come in through the teleporter is going to get enough. And that starts off a rotation, but then again, you have an immediate trade towards the A side.
I know exactly
so it's a 1-for-1,
you are.
and a Neuro Theft to come out on top of that too, so they know it's a 2-2 split. So they have the numbers advantage towards the B side, so they're going to rush into it right away.
Baby Bay pulls the knives out, hoping to stop the push. It doesn't work out so well. Zachary eventually gets that rifle under control and finds one through the smoke. A follow-up as well onto Shinobi. The camera is there and gives a dart positioning as well. And he's just going to continue to hang out in that cam. He's got cover from Sova, calling out the position of the planner, but they don't know where that last player is because they have not yet spotted Cypher. So the alarm bot goes down on the cross. He saw that one as well.
30 seconds left.
Now the camera gets taken down. There's the alarm bot spotting him. The spike just about planted now. With the cyber cage coming in, they can figure out the positioning loosely of the remaining player, Cypher. A follow-up as well. There's the tripwire coming in. And there's the peek into the tripwire, actually. I like the setup, the thought process, just doesn't really come together. Vice now flashed out of position, able to get around the corner somehow, but with 16 HP, this is almost impossible. There's the cam to give away at least one player's position. Does Vice make this work? Low in health, he can't find him. No, he's stuck in the cam. He's anticipating that player to be in the site, but it was a double play coming towards him. Unfortunate, and it'll be FaZe Clan to find another.
Definitely give it to Zachary for saving that round for FaZe Clan, rather. As he's able to get those 2 kills and save this fight and keep it on a 1 versus 1, having that camera up is definitely good enough to spot one player, but not knowing where that second one is, just keeping it cool and playing and waiting to move as a group for the retake was definitely the play. So that camera, despite not doing a lot of tags or getting a lot of kills, besides that initial tag, was good enough in terms of information to help FaZe overrun and overtake that site. And as you saw that trap wire that went forward and you saw that Mitch was trying to lurk through, as soon as that was shot, they were going to get that audible, and then he was going to push through that smoke to get that frag. So nothing but a great performance, a great display of FaZe Clan on the defender side.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Here they go, moving in closer and closer. Ten's able to get the first. Marv with a nice follow-up for FaZe. That's the killjoy being taken care of. Oh, awkward timing there for Relics. The curveball comes out a little bit too late. Tens now has to deal with Marv. Nice shooting from Tens, as if we've ever said anything else about Tens. It'll come down to a 3-on-3, and the spike's going to be planted in the default position on the other side of the truck. They'll start to change spots. There's one in heaven right now. You can see the hot hands came down. Zachary moving into that smoke, somehow able to turn on Tens, and it's down to 1. It'll be Shinobi in the hot seat. As Omen, spikes planted right around the corner. They're going to go ahead and stick that one. Doesn't even really get a chance to fire a bullet. FaZe Clan with their backs against the rope. They keep swinging away, and they're chiseling at that lead that's been built up from Cloud9.
I was definitely scared at that point because I saw that Baby Bay was the first one to tap, and I know that since it was a 3 versus 1, they're gonna have one player stick onto the fuse while the other one covers the back. But Baby Bay was the one at 100 HP, the other one were at 30, and probably the other one was at 30 as well, which would have been very difficult and very winnable for the last player remaining there for the attacker side, as it was Shinobi trying to win that one. But then again, the communication was right. They probably said, hey, I have full HP. Let me try to go for the swing. They got it. They stay alive. It's 11-7. But the economy is still too good here for Cloud9. So it's still, once again, not over yet for FaZe Clan. Another situation here where they have full rifles for Cloud9, and they heard the teleporter to start things off, but it was going to be an Omen fake. So they're still focused on that right now. But as they're going to move into the B hookah, the camera's there. So that's going to help FaZe, again, get some information for the round. And there you go, the camera gets broken, and you're possibly going to force a rotate very soon. Nope, we're going to have a nice smoke here from Marv at Lamps towards Hookah, and allow the rotation for them to stack up very slowly into B.
Here.
See the recon dart being set up by Raucus. But it looks like they're split apart pretty heavily. You've got Tens currently moving in first with the Judge. It's a little scary. We know what he's done with that in the past. Not going to be the case here, as Corey gets the shot off before Tens can really even react properly. Now again, the spike, though, moving back towards B. You're seeing resources being allocated to that area as well. The Killjoy ult being popped, hot hands going down into Cubby. You've got players back in spawn. The way that these ults are actually piling up, it's not really going to make too much of a difference. There's the shock darts coming in as well. They're trying to gain access to the site, but the defense isn't really hampered by that Killjoy ult. We've talked about this before. At times it's fantastic, other times it feels almost laughable. Relics, though, goes big and picks off 2, but it all falls onto Relic's shoulders. He's now got 3 on the round. Self-healing, but peeks into the blind spray of Corey.
Wow.
It was a Phoenix versus a Phoenix, and in this instance, Corey is able to come out just a bit above Relics.
We good.
Corey, you're still going to have to mention his name here for FaZe Clan, a big 4K for the round. And the Killjoy ult, I was going to say that maybe it wasn't deep enough, right? You had a couple of players that could still play it towards the backside of B, right by the trophy room inside the site, or the trophy area, as you see if you're in the pipes area. But they still played it super far back inside elbow, inside the hallway, so they could play a full retake. And that gave so much information, or so much map control for Cloud9 inside the site. The thing is, they didn't really want to commit too many players inside the site and leave Relics towards the behind, so that just in case if they're able to make it out and Relic still stays alive, he could try to clutch that 2 versus 1. So it basically that's what happened. But somehow a blinded Corey, the luck was in their favor, and FaZe Clan are slowly getting closer into this matchup.
Corey uses run it back to get early intel. Look at the buildup right now. Outside showers. Baby Bay, again. As an attacker, Jet with an op, not really working out for anyone. But on the defensive side, where you've seen players like Baby Bay and Tens really shine. Now there's the dark cover coming in. We'll see what they decide to do. You've got Shinobi ready to port, but they're just waiting. Now I wonder if FaZe will do them a favor and pop the ult on Raucus, the Hunter Fury, but not going to happen. Tens gets picked off by Raucus. Raucus is across the map to play. There's the run it back, and the ult being popped, giving away the intel. They know where they're at this point. Relic's blind, but running through anyway. Flash goes around the corner through the FaZe wall, but it doesn't seem to make a difference as he tries to gain access to U-Haul. There's the shutdown play initially, but they've gained site control now. There's still one here to contend with. It's going to be Baby Bay who's right around the corner. I love the dark cover with the trip bar, but Baby Bay gets a quick shot out on the Vice. Can't even get away from that smoke after the spike gets planted. 3-on-3, and 3 rounds the lead currently. They're trying to continue to chisel away at it. Baby Bay gets one before being traded out, but it all falls down into the hands of Mitch as the Killjoy, and now it's a one-on-one. From heaven he goes, and heaven he falls. Mitch will find the 3K. 12 rounds on the board for Cloud9. They finally reached that magical number.
That was a great round for Cloud9 on a take on the A side. I thought it was going to be for FaZe Clan's favor, because when we saw that the Omen was trying to get ready, which is Shinobi trying to go ready with the Into the Shadows, I thought it was because we had Tens that was inside the cubby of the B side and slowly lurking towards the elbow. So I thought they were going to try to go for some sort of pinch because it was a mixed buy from Cloud9 and force a rotation from the A. But as soon as Tens died, it was like, screw it, let's just put all our eggs into the basket and try to trade off towards the A side. And it worked out just because of an amazing clutch situation by Mitch on that 2 versus 1. So well done there for Cloud9. FaZe Clan did whatever they could in terms of holding as much as they can so that the B rotators could come across. But it was just, unfortunately, not enough in terms of the positionings rather that they had getting into the site versus where Mitch was inside U. So now it's series point for Cloud9. 1 round away of moving forward versus FaZe Clan, but it's still going to be a healthy buy for the defenders as Tens is going to try to open it up from Hookah.
Tens looking for that position in the backside. He's trying so hard, jumping up to try and peek that position out. I feel like we were going to get it, potentially the jumping shot from Tens. I thought for certain that was going to be it. But not going to be the case now. Again, even strength with 38 seconds left. One of the slower rounds we've seen in this map, potentially even in this series outside of a few rounds we saw on the first map
30 seconds
on Ascent. 30 seconds left. You hear the call come out as they begin their push into the site. There's the paranoia towards elbow. Tens will be the one that follows up on that cloud burst to go down as well. Smokes are on the site. The site's been accessed by Cloud9, but the defense is already there, ready to try to defend, but they can't stop it. The first one to go out is Corey, and the first one to go down is also Corey. It's a 5-on-4. Vice picks off 1, but make it 2 for Vice with the Bulldog of all things. Relics might get invested, and the timing isn't working out, but no, the low curveball at his feet doesn't make a difference. The breaking ball managed to get him something to work with. Mitch to find the follow-up at the end. 13-8 Cloud9.